Hey, what's up? We're back. Bruce McLaughlin, Movement Mortgage, Josh Barnard with the Josh Barnard Home Team. We're out in Bonnie Lake at Church Lake Estates, and you may have seen on social media or maybe the news that interest rates are real low right now.
Absolutely.
So we're going to talk a little bit today about your buying power, what that means for you, and then give you some pictures of a home that is pretty cool.
It's a very nice house. Let's go inside and take a look.
All right, so what do you think about that house? This house it's the real deal. I mean, it's got all the upgrades, all the little bling to it. So super nice house. JK Monarch's the builder. If you got any questions on it, let us know. Interest rates right now it's the kind of the talk of the town is do something. But what we want to do is, what does that mean? What does buying power really look like when you're talking about this amount of a house versus this amount of a house? And what are the mortgage rates maybe from 2019 versus today? So Bruce is the numbers man. What does that look like?
So right now everyone's talking refinance, but the thing is why. And so for a lot of people, we're figuring that out for them. What's the savings? What's the monthly savings? What does that do? Or we're looking at shortening their loan terms to pay the house off faster. So it's not just about lowering the payment. Maybe we can save you tens of thousands of dollars just in interest by shortening that loan term and keeping the payment the same.
So it's always going to be about what's best for the person and looking at their situation and trying to just figure that out.
Correct. If you're just being told a 30-year rate and that's it, no one's looking out for your best interest.
Yeah.
But that falls right into this when you're buying a house. So if you're buying a home, last year you're looking at a house, $375,000 price range, and this is the sheets that you'll see is maybe that total payment was around $2,500 a month. Taxes, insurance, everything on FHA loan. Now, if you're looking at that same price, you're gonna save yourself about $250 a month in payment.
That's not bad.
So a year ago to now, $250 a month for buying. So if you're on the fence of why I should buy and why I should wait, that right there is a big difference. The next part that it takes you to is your buying power. So buying power is how much more home can I buy for the same payment I was at before.
Okay.
So if you're at a $375,000 house before, about $2,500 a month, you can now bump that sales price to about $425,000. So you're almost a $50,000 bump for the same payment as you're looking at a year ago.
Yeah, that's a pretty big increase for buying power.
Yeah. So what can 50 grand do for a client that you're looking at homes and you're in the area? What can that do?
So it can give you a lot more upgrades. It can move you into maybe a better school district, maybe a shorter commute to work in the city versus outside the city.
Right.
So there's a lot of different things that it can do for you. It just depends on what is important to you and figuring that out.
Exactly. And this applies whether you're doing an FHA loan, you're doing conventional, and you have 3 to 20% down or more conventional loan. All these things apply. For some people, it's going to be, well, now I don't have to do a 30-year loan. Now I can do a 20-year loan. Mm-hmm. And maybe I'm looking at retiring in the next 10, 15, 20 years. And I want to build my nest egg a different way. So we can take this savings right now and apply it towards lowering that payment or shortening that term to keep the same payment, because maybe that payment worked for your budget. So let's pay the house off faster.
Sure.
Let's save money in the long run. Not just save money in a short window. Let's look at your long term. What's the next 10, 20 years for you and your family, and how will that benefit you? Well, paying less interest. It's
that helps.
A great thing to do.
And then what about, let's talk maybe moving up. So
yes.
A move up buyer is somebody that, say you have a $375,000 house right now, but maybe you have a new kid or you got a new job and you want to get a little bit closer. So moving up means basically maybe getting a little bit bigger house or maybe a little bit more expensive house. So what are we looking at buying power and that sort of thing within that?
You could take someone, and you may be this person where you bought a house 5 years ago and the house you bought was $275,000. The way the market's been, that $275,000 house is now worth $390,000.
Right.
but you've been at an interest rate of 4 3/4 or 5%, somewhere in that area when you bought. The rates weren't as attractive. So now you're like, ooh, I should refinance, but I've also thought about moving.
Yeah.
Selling that house, the market's great for people buying. You're in the great sweet spot, and then you want to buy a house at $600,000. Well, now with the rates where they are, your interest rate is a point and a half lower than what you're currently paying.
Mm-hmm.
Your mortgage payment's not going to jump up as much. So I had a client of mine, a very good friend. They bought a house for $100,000, a little condo. They're going to sell it for about $200,000. They're like, everything we want's about $400,000.
Mm-hmm.
Well, their condo right now costs them over about $1,350 a month.
Okay.
Their down payment's going to be about $100,000 for their next home.
Okay.
$400,000. They have their $100,000 down payment. Their mortgage is about $1,850 a month. So they're looking at doubling the price of the house for only $500 more a month.
That's not bad at all.
So there's lots of flexibility. There's lots of options. Again, everyone's unique, so we just got to figure out what's best for you and the family.
Yeah. So the rates right now, I mean, they're attractive in terms of they open up options, a lot of options for buyers, sellers, for everything. So I think the best thing probably to do is, if you're not sure if you want to buy, you're not sure if you want to sell, is get some information,
Yep.
find out where you stand, and then you can make the best decision for you and your family.
Yeah, we're here to put a plan together for you, and it's a plan for the next 5, 10, 30 years. It's not just a short time thing to save a couple dollars. It's what's the best for your family. So whether it involves just a refinance, buying a new house, buying your first house, moving up, whatever it is, reach out to us and we're going to help you out with all those things.
Perfect. Well, if you have any questions, comments, feel free to comment below, or you can reach out to us, and we'd love to help put that plan together to make sure your financial future and housing future is in the best possible spot.
Yep. Talk to you guys soon.
All right. See you.
Thanks.